Oh my Lord. Man, this is insane. Do you realize how long I've been trying to get CSR to work? Because the copies that, first of all, okay, because I'm not with a Cisco VAR, okay, I can't download the newer versions of CSR. Okay, all right. The company that I'm working with yet, with now, I have not gotten approval yet to actually be able to be added to the list uh, to Cisco. Okay, now with Cisco, okay, 9 times out of 10, you could just call them up and say, hey, add me to this contract. I just started with this company. And they will send out a email requesting approval from the people who are listed on Cisco's site, okay, or I should say on Cisco's end, okay, and then you get access once that individual is approved has approved it. Okay, so it'll go out to like 3 or 4 individuals depending on how many people are on the list. However, with government agencies, there is a way of having that part locked, meaning that not on Cisco's end, but on the government side, they have to physically go in, okay, which is normally assigned to, a few people who are allowed to do this, and put your email address in there, obviously company email address, okay, to say, hey, this person is allowed to download software, okay, all right. Now, most of the time, all right, it's the other way. It's just calling up Cisco and blah 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 blah. Now, with this particular government agency, it was really a hard thing. I've been working on that for months, by the way. Okay, until I finally found out that was the case, that the actual account is locked. Okay, which I've never ran across before in my networking career. So, but again, the last organization I worked for was a government agency as well. Technically, not a government agency, but a government contractor, which means technically I'm working for the government. When you're working for a company that is dealing with government contracts, okay, the government tells that company what is technically the rules, okay, the rules that they have to follow. And you get access as a government employee, meaning you have to follow all the rules, regulations, and compliances. Okay, so technically you're working as a government employee, but you're not officially a government employee. Does that make sense? Okay, so our original problem was now, so that means right now with the company I'm working with, I do not now. That's going to be resolved once I first of all get my Security Plus, because that's a requirement. Okay, that's one, and some other things in the background that need to be worked out. But now here's the thing. So I can't download even a simple iOS. Okay, so I have to rely on my backups. Okay, and for some odd, strange reason, every CSR, which I had 3 of them, and remember, this stuff with virtualization can be so finicky. Okay, like ESSI. Okay, I have like version 5.1, 5.5, and of course, because my servers aren't set up, I can't test to see if they're working. Meaning that I'm going to be working on an older version. I think I have 6 too. I think. But I'm not dealing with the crap with VMware dealing with the ESSI, because first of all, I'm not going to that third party software company that you can't download shit from. Okay, that's one. 2, I will purchase Hyper-V just to get my studies, to the point where I can actually have a bare metal hypervisor. Okay, don't care. All right. I like ESXi. Okay, it is awesome as hell. I'm very fluent with it, and I've gone through all the learning curves with it, and I would hate to go to a new platform, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so now, So what I'm trying to tell you is all these little teeny hurdles, okay, is things we have to deal with. So, all right, this is a game changer. All right, I have a command prompt finally. What would happen with the other CSRs is the fact that, okay, they would just keep rebooting. It would never come to a command prompt. Now, I have to go back to my knowledge, which means I have to relearn this process to be able to telnet into these devices, okay, using VMware. All right, and here's the cool thing, okay, this CSR, all right, I can bridge the interface, okay, because let's go in here. Oh, this is just an OVI file, by the way, I just created. And it didn't take that long to boot, because normally these CSRs takes forever to boot. Okay, so now, show IP interface brief. Okay, I got 3 interfaces. That's beautiful. Okay, this is a game changer, because I can bridge one of those interfaces, okay? Let's say GigaNet 1 to one of my network cards, because remember I got USB network cards and I got 5 of them, I believe. If not, I just buy more. Who cares? Okay, and bridge it to that interface and plug that into a switch. Okay, now here's the thing. This is where that extra layer that I was talking about, don't worry about, that I'm going to have to use. I have no choice because what I want is point-to-point links. But if I'm bridging interfaces like a physical network card to this logical interface, okay, which is gigabit 1, okay, I'm going to make it a point-to-point connection via a layer 2 VLAN. All right, does that make sense? So, router 1 and router 2, okay, gigabit 1 on each router will be in VLAN 10. Okay, gigabit 2 to gigabit 2 on the other router will be in VLAN 20. All right, so it is literally logically like a point-to-point connection via a layer 2 VLAN. Okay, in that sense, okay, I don't have a choice because of the method that I'm doing it. Okay, and it's very simple though. Don't get me wrong. When you do it like that, okay, and keep in mind that in your wiring diagram, you're going to literally have the link between router 1 and router 2. Okay, you're going to label it VLAN 10. Okay, so as you go through, you know gigabit 1 goes in VLAN 10. Okay, and you're only going to have 2 interfaces in each VLAN. Okay, all right, that is you. Think about it. That means every VLAN you create for those point-to-point logical connections, which technically it is logical, but from the router's perspective, it's physical. Because what you're doing is when you create a VLAN, you are separating that switch into another switch. Okay? So, this is a game changer. Who do I have to thank for this? Who do you think? Hold on, let me go find it. My buddy Kevin Wallace, yo. This is the second problem. First of all, he found me CML, okay, for free. Okay, and now he's finally got me a... Guys, I've been working on this for almost a year. Seriously. I mean, it has been probably 9 months since I've been trying to get a CSR 1000V. I even had my buddy download some, and it just wouldn't work. Okay? So, we are miles ahead. Okay? So prepare that I'm coming back to actually start doing some things, but at the same time, this is excellent news. The only thing I got to do now is get these connections and VMware set up where I have to add a serial port and be able to telnet to those devices. And I forget how to do that, so I have to go back and figure that out. Okay? And that's it. See you guys on the next one.